One, please. One. Burger for Shani. Horse one. Thank you. Burger to Judy. We don't want that. Who is Judy? Coming to three. On three. Other than that 50 when you're drawn, I think.
The days pass quite quickly. We're on to race 6, the Brett Martin Novices Handicap Hurdle, where Activist bids to make it 3 wins in 2 weeks for Dale Pipe and Jack Tudor. And to be honest, Steve, he looked the class apart at Taunton last time.
He did. He clearly started off in handicaps off a very well-treated mark. He was a very smooth winner at Plumpton, followed up 3 days later at Taunton when he did look head and shoulders above. He's got 2 £7 penalties, but he's still £4 well in, and he's likely to get his own way out in front. It's an ideal opportunity for a hat-trick.
There's 2 potential fly in the ointment, 2 handicap debutants. One of these is number 5, Love a Dose, who was a 2-mile flat winner in France, but for me, has showed a lack of enthusiasm over hurdles so far.
Yeah, tried in cheek pieces now. He did try a hood in the middle of the 3 novice hurdles when never really involved in any of them from the rear. But he has got the pedigree. His half-brother of Max Dynamite, of course, was placed in both the county hurdle and the Melbourne Cup. Not many horses do that. And
he's been back, Robert Walker's team, in good form. 2 from 5 in the past fortnight, Art Deco. And one of his winners the other day. Next up is number 8, Paris Star. Not seen a great deal so far.
No, she had 4 uninspiring flat runs for Jim Bolger and a little better switch to hurdles for Nigel Hawke, who's also got My Granny Lily in here.
Yeah, much stronger chance of My Granny Lily. Number 4 is Spice Heaven for Chris Honor and Brian Carver.
Yeah, another one making her handicap debut, not shown a whole lot in 2 bumpers and 3 novice hurdle starts, and wears a hood, and that's because she can be quite keen.
6 is My Granny Lily, and at least she got off the mark last time at Foss Last, but up £5.
Yeah, it often made the running, but ridden more patiently last time at Foss Last when getting off the mark, and that was pretty modest handicap. It previously fell at the 3rd on her chase debut at Ludlow, so back over hurdles is clearly suited her.
Next up, a good-looking horse, number 3, Killigarth, but hasn't shown a great deal to get a mark.
No, another one making his handicap debut and not a huge amount of promise. He's by telescope, so there's a fair chance he'll be suited when he goes up in distance.
Yeah, there he is, Killigarth, as Jockey Deva Vass gets on board. First Flow was retired the other day by trainer Kimbe. Let's look at our runners for the finale. Activist, a 6-4 favourite. Love a Dose, 9-2. So plenty of money for Robert Walford's runner. We are at the finale for Exeter's 6-race card, and it's a hot favourite-ish at 6-4 Activist, 9-2 Love a Dose, along with My Granny Lily. Killigarth at 13-2, Queen of Steel 7-1, and bigger prices the remainder. Now 6-4, I think that's pretty much a gift price-wise regarding our favourite, Steve.
Certainly quite attractive, and it's like the old days of the pipes. David's father, Martin, would be proud of this one, because he was a winner at Plumpton, and a very nice winner, and then out 3 days later, no time to wait around in the stable, because he was out at Taunton and he won really nicely as well. He's got 2 £7 penalties, but officially he's £4 well in, and he should get his own way out in front, Activist.
Yeah, he should do. As for me, this is actually a weaker race than what he ran in at Taunton last time out, but there is money for Loverdose, who you made an interesting pedigree note.
Yeah, he's a half-brother to Max Dynamite, who was trained by Willie Mullins and was a decent hurdler and an even
second
better
in the Melbourne
flat.
Cup?
I think, yeah, second or third in the Melbourne Cup. Placed in a county hurdle, so he's probably better on the flat than he was over hurdles, but he's a very smart horse. And I think the interesting thing with Loverdose is how they ride this one, because Harry Kimber, who's on board with cheek pieces on for the first time, has tried a herd and has been settled out the back in 3 novice hurdles. Now, whether Loverdose lines up in a more prominent position and they try and ride him more forward would be interesting, because he's clearly got a little bit of potential in there.
Well, he's strong in the market, and he did win over 2 miles on the flat. Money for My Granny Lily, 7-2 from 9-2, which I thought that was a weak race that she won at Foss last. She'd have to step up on that for me.
Yeah, it wasn't a great race, but she got off the mark, and she'd often made the running, but she was ridden more patiently last time when she got off the mark at Foss last. So you'd imagine that those tactics would be employed again, rather than trying to take Activist on up front or even sitting on the shoulder. You'd have thought My Granny Lily, who is ridden by David Noonan, will be probably win patiently like last time.
Killigarth is the other handicap debutant, along with Loverdose, but didn't show a great deal for me in the first 2 runs, and while finishing closer at East Oxford last time, I didn't see much strength and depth to that 5th of 8.
No, I very much think Telescope was pretty disappointing at first at stud, but it's clear that they really do stay very well and they need a distance, and I don't think 2 mile 1 around here is going to be long enough for Killigarth, especially on that pedigree.
Yeah, Kim Bailey and David Bass teaming up with Killigarth. They are on track for our finale, as I think they are potentially going to wait for air to complete. Sophie Upton is ready to raise her flag. I gave Richard Hoyles a very early handover for our previous contest. Sometimes they've been waiting, sometimes they haven't, for air to finish, as they were delayed earlier on in the card. Activist then, 13-8, solid at the top of the market to get the hat-trick. My Granny Lily, strong at 7-2. Loverdose 4-1. 7-1 is Queen of Steel, who hasn't shown a great deal. Killigarth 15-2. Inian Taguer at 16s and Parish Star 50s, along with Spice Heaven 6-1 outsider. They've still got a fair few to jump over at Ayr. Of the others, Inian Taguer, Steve, early doors was a little bit of promise over hurdles.
Yeah, and this will be her first run since a breathing operation. She's pulled up in both handicap starts, both over further, so dropping in distance. If they have solved the breathing problems, then maybe Inian Taguer might have a little bit of a chance. The third behind Jackpot Detho at Chepstow, that was back in November, was quite a promising start, but she's not gone on for that. But maybe that's the issue, has been the breathing. So you couldn't be confident of her, but then again, she has got potential. If you go back, and you're only going back, what, 5 or 6 months, so there is a little bit of promise there.
Yeah, they're 4 out at Ayr, and I think they are going to wait for Ayr to complete. That Foss last form for My Granny Lily, I was looking back, Queen of Steel was only 3 lengths behind back in third, and Queen of Steel really didn't boost the form next time out.
No, it's modest form, there's no doubt about that, and although this wouldn't be a deep race, you've coming up against an in-form horse with the Activist, who is officially well in and is looked to have started off handicaps very well in and could easily still be well handicapped. Is clearly better than this sort of grade. He's got the potential to step out of the 0 to 100 and be competitive. So, yeah, it wouldn't be my way of looking at it, My Granny Lily. I think Activist is got a golden opportunity for the hat-trick.
Flag raised, but I think they're coming in too fast at the start now, and they're going to take another turn. Potentially, let's go and join Richard Hoyles.
And they are off. And away they head for the Brett Martin Novices Handicap Hurdle. Just chased along in Antigua early on in the red and orange colours as they rise at the first, with Activist and Killygarth racing front rank. In Antigua in the red and orange colours closest to the rail. A Loverdose in the white and blue, and right on the outside is Queen of Steel, as there's virtually 5 in line as they head past the winning post. Behind these in 6th is Parish Star, just ahead of the checked colours of My Granny Lily. And last of all is Spice Heaven as they move away from the stands. Loverdose it is on the outside of Inyantiga, and those two have the lead. Third for Queen of Steel in the pink jacket, who's racing on the outside of Activist in the orange and black, who jumped off front rank. Tried to just niggling along slightly on the outside of Killygarth, but they're still well close in attendance. Behind these Parish Star in 6th, My Granny Lily, and at the back of the pack is Spice Heaven, who is content to sit and observe from the rear in these early stages. Halfway on this long run between flights 1 and 2. Indian Tiger on the running rail with Loverdose and wider out Queen of Steel. Activist, still just being nudged along by Jack Tudor on the outside of Killygarth, and then on the running rail is Parish Star, and the last two, My Granny Lily and Spice Heaven, as the field are relatively compact here as they now begin to take the right-hand turn that will bring them into the back straight. Indian Tiger on the inside of Loverdose. Racing in 3rd place, we have Queen of Steel. The next wave made up on the running rail of Parish Star in the two-tone blue, Killygarth and Activist. He did respond well to pressure when winning at Plumpton, but has come off the bridle at quite an early stage in the orange and black colours on the right-hand side. Then My Granny Lily, and last of all is Spice Heaven. So they run downhill into the dip, and still 3 deep for the lead. Indian Tiger on the inside of Loverdose with the white face and the white jacket, and Queen of Steel on the outer as they prepare to reach flight number 2. Parish Star, Killygarth and Activist make up the second wave, as Indian Tiger was a little skew-whiff over the second. Not that long before they leave the ground again, with My Granny Lily and Spice Heaven at the back. Indian Tiger, Loverdose's turn not to be exactly straight over that, with Queen of Steel, who's jumped those flights better than the two she was alongside. 2 lengths back to Killygarth, who for the first time is pushed along with Activist, Parish Star, My Granny Lily, and a little bit closer now is Spice Heaven as these leaders continue to take each other on. And once again, Activist hits a flat spot as the runners make their climb uphill here. So Loverdose on the outside of Indian Tiger, and Queen of Steel is next. And Activist flat spot is quite prolonged this time. My Granny Lily has made significant progress, but Activist is just about stone last here at the moment, as Spice Heaven, despite being towards the rear, travelling better than Killygarth and Parish Star. So into the final bend they head. Loverdose on the outside of Indian Tiger, and right on their outer is Queen of Steel. My Granny Lily made ground pretty smoothly into 4th place, white sleeve jacket, ahead of Parish Star, Killygarth. No response when ridden for Spice Heaven, who hung to the left, and Activist is really going to have to sprout wings from there, is last of all on straightening. Loverdose and Queen of Steel. My Granny Lily in 3rd place, a length away. Behind those in 4th place, Indian Tiger being ridden, then Parish Star, as the leaders make their way uphill towards the 3rd last. And it's Loverdose for Harry Kimber, white jacket, Queen of Steel in the pink. Trying to join them now is My Granny Lily, and these three are a long way clear of the others. Activist about to be pulled up at the back of the field, 3 from the finish. On the outside, Queen of Steel in pink jacket of Loverdose, who just picked up in front. My Granny Lily still in 3rd place, and these three are a long way clear as they head towards the 2nd last. Left-hand side, it's Loverdose, who's over now by more than a length from Queen of Steel. Still in 3rd place, My Granny Lily can't bridge the gap, and Loverdose is galloping on for Harry Kimber. Heads down towards the last, is going to have the lead from on the outside. Queen of Steel, about 2 lengths between them. Loverdose on the left-hand side. Queen of Steel is sticking to the task, but Loverdose at the moment is doing more than enough, and it's Loverdose coming home to win the last. Loverdose in the colours of Mr. and Mrs. Garner, Harry Kimber, and a winner for Robert Walford. Second, Queen of Steel. In 3rd then was My Granny Lily. They're finishing well strung out with a long gap back to Killygarth, who eventually will cross the line in 4th place.
Loverdose makes a winning handicap debut for trainer Rob Walford and jockey Harry Kimber. Yard are in good form, 3 from 6 now in the last 2 weeks, and 2 mile flat form. Steve Jones ridden a long way out, they just kept on galloping.
Yeah, it was his handicap debut, and he'd been held up in 3 novice races, and was very keen to get near the lead or on it. Was Harry Kimber, the jockey, and it's the change of tactics have clearly helped Loverdos. He's a strong stayer. He's a half-brother to Max Dynamite. It was a very smart stayer, both on the flat and a decent hurdler. And he's seen it out nicely, albeit looking around a little bit in the closing stages. I don't think it's a race that took a lot of winning, considering Activist from a very early stage was not going, couldn't get near the lead. It was a race that looked on paper that Activist was the most likely leader, but then there was a few others that decided they wanted to put their hand up for that role, including Loverdos, and Activist couldn't get near it, and it never seemed happy from an early stage, and that opened up for Loverdos to make a winning handicap debut. I don't think it's strong form by any means, but the second horse, Queen
She
of...
is tiny, the diminutive Queen of Steel.
She is, but she's turned the form round with My Granny Lily, so that kind of suggests it's not strong form, because that didn't look a great race at False Last that Queen of Steel finished third to My Granny Lily in last time. So Loverdos has got that first win on the board, and maybe that he can progress a little bit from there. He's got the pedigree too,
yeah,
but it wouldn't be a strong race.
You would
by any
imagine
means.
that a mark of 79